you ever looked at File Explorer and thought, I wish I could play Minecraft in here? So the question nobody asked, but I'm going to be answering anyway, is whether File Explorer is a good replacement for the likes of Unity or Unreal Engine. But first, the basics. File Explorer contains files. Without this, it would just be called Explorer. Obviously, File Explorer doesn't have any kind of physics or rendering pipeline, but luckily we don't need any of that.
What the fuck, bro?
All we need is images, meaning we can actually see stuff on the screen, which is apparently quite useful when making games. For Tetris, this translates very nicely. Each tile becomes its own image, forming what experts call a grid. By changing the colours, we can create different shapes. These are officially known as tetraminos. Of course, the pieces need to fall down the screen. This happens to be a key part of Tetris. My initial solution was to recreate the entire board every frame, which is slightly suboptimal. Predicting where each tile is doesn't sound ideal. So instead I used a built-in feature of Windows called sorting by name. Instead of deleting and recreating tiles, I can simply swap their names, meaning File Explorer doesn't have to re-render anything. The grid is 10 tiles wide, so to move a piece down I add 10 to all the names. Therefore, moving to the right should be as simple as just adding 1, except we've always got to remember to swap from the right, otherwise the tet will start swapping within itself. Annoyingly, the arrow keys change the selected file, so like a true gamer I mapped it to A and D. But that does make this lovely sound, which I came up with an ingenious fix for. Turns out there's more to Tetris than just moving the shape down and to the side. The pieces need to rotate, they need to stop at the bottom. They shouldn't be able to do that. Sometimes, just sometimes, they should stack properly. And finally, the rows at the bottom need to disappear, otherwise what's even the point? And that needs to happen even when multiple rows complete at the same time. And once all of that is working, we have a fully functional game of Tetris. Next, I decided to recreate 2048. This one was quite simple, much like yourself. All it needs is a 4x4 grid of tiles, each containing a power of 2 number. Then all we need is 4 inputs, up, down, left and right, which shift the board, allowing the numbers to combine. Under the hood, it's just a 2D array, which I update every time the player does anything. Minesweeper required a bit more of that lacking brain power. Fortunately, it's also a tile-based game, so it works in a very similar way to 2048 on the back end. The hard part was player interaction. I needed a way to know which file had been clicked. Using the arrow keys and enter turned out to be a terrible UI choice, something even Crimson Desert discovered. After installing several highly reputable Russian keyboard drivers and consulting Claude, I eventually figured it out. And now you can play Minesweeper entirely in File Explorer. But none of these free games really compare to the gaming behemoth that's Minecraft. So I thought, why not give it a go? And of course, what better way to start than putting it directly into ChatGPT? And it suggested this. Something about travelling through folders, and honestly, it was not good. I'd rather shit in my hands and clap than play this. This is why AI will never replace humans, because I would simply never suggest something this bad.
Are you sure about that?
And honestly, building Minecraft in Python does sound like a great time. Anyway, this is what I made. It runs at a whopping half a frame per second, and if I actually knew how to beat Minecraft, I would absolutely make a full video doing it inside Explorer. You're probably thinking this is a scam, that I haven't actually made Minecraft in File Explorer, and you'd be right. But also, would it really look that different? What I'm actually doing is taking small groups of pixels about 8x8, turning them into images and saving those as files, which is significantly better than the alternative, 1 file per pixel, because what the fuck even is this? I then repeat this across the entire screen, effectively rendering Minecraft inside Explorer. Sadly, there isn't much I can do to speed it up, other than caching the images, but if each square is 8x8 pixels and each pixel has 60 million possible colours, which gives us about 60 million to the power of 64, which is a massive fucking number. So caching all of that might be about as useful as an inflatable dartboard.